What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we're going to talk about a clipper that I've been using for quite a while. You guys know when we do unboxings and reviews, most of the time it's the first time I've ever used that clipper, or at least the first couple of days that I've ever used it, and we don't ever really revisit if that clipper is still good or not. So at this point in my career, I can cut hair with anything. I get a new clipper in, I show you guys what comes in the box, we set it up, we charge it, we cut some hair with it, and most of the time I don't have a whole lot of bad to say. Now sometimes, a few months later, my thoughts may be a little bit different, so I'm going to try to do some more follow-up reviews for you guys after a few months. And I've gotten a lot of questions lately on my go-to clipper. Is the Rebel still my favorite, and do I still use it on a daily basis? So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now you guys know I recently got the Snap FX, and you guys have been seeing it in a lot of different videos, and I think that's what sparked this video. A lot of people see me using this, and they know I vouch super highly for the Rebel, and they say, hey now, do you still like the Rebel, or did you move on from the Rebel? Because I just bought it because of you, and I want to make sure that it's still solid. So honestly, guys, the Snap FX came out. I just kind of challenged myself to cut hair with it. I hadn't cut with a Babyliss clipper like this in a while, the FX standard body clipper, but I just wanted to challenge myself to cut with this, so I cut with it for about a week or two, just to get some practice in, some reps in, again, just to make sure I can cut hair with anything you put in front of me. But guys, the Rebel is still my favorite clipper on the station. So you guys know I spoke super highly about this when I did the review, and if you guys want to see the review and unboxing, definitely go check that video out. I'm going to link it at the end of the video. But this thing is still going strong. I still use it on most days. Like I said, sometimes we try out some new things that I get in, but this is definitely still my go-to, and there's a few reasons why. First off, guys, this clipper cuts through bulk absolutely crazy. There's not a lot of clippers that fade well and cut bulk well, and this is one of the best that I've found so far. So you guys can throw a large guard on here, whether you're cutting the top down or just cutting the sides down, but this thing will just absolutely mow through the hair and get you set up. You're not gonna have to make 1,000 passes to get it cut down nice and clean. It is gonna cut the bulk down, and then it does great at fading as well. Secondly, you guys know that the Wall Senior was my favorite for the longest, and guys, obviously the Rebel is very similar in shape, and that's one of my favorite things about it. So when we talk about the FX or the Ergo, you guys can see this is more like a mag light, and this is kind of like a banana. You guys have heard me say that before. So sometimes the shapes of these clippers takes a little while to get used to. This one's obviously big, it's pretty long, it's a lot to hold on to, and it takes a little bit to get used to. And then this shape right here is just a little bit funky. It kind of changes how you have to get in there with kind of the flick of the wrist motion that we do when we cut hair, just because of this curve on it, but it is something that you can get used to. But back to the Rebel, guys, it is your standard clipper shape. I call it the standard clipper shape because the Wall Senior is one of those OG clippers that everybody is used to and everybody's comfortable with. And so this thing is pretty much the same exact shape. We got the indentions on the back, the lever's the same, the power switch is the same, pretty much the same clipper, and that's one of the things that I really like about it. Another thing, guys, you guys hear me talk about it all the time, but this fusion blade with the stretch bracket is absolutely crazy, guys. The fusion blade is kind of what helps cut that bulk down so easy. The fusion blade is a little bit thinner at the top. It's kind of like a fade blade, you guys can see. This blade is gonna allow you to do a couple things. It's gonna help with the bulk. It's also going to take the zero line out, which is something that most of my clippers won't usually do. With the taper blade on there, a lot of the times they won't cut that zero line out, that bald line out. But this cuts so close because of the fusion blade that we're not going to have an issue with the bald line. Now, because of the stretch bracket, when we open it up, it does open a little bit further, and that is going to help us with our next step, transitioning up to that one guard. And that's one of the main reasons I don't care for the fade blade. It cuts so short that it changes those steps just a little bit, and I really don't prefer using that. And so this is kind of best of both worlds. Now, guys, I do have a dock for the Rebel. Unfortunately, it does not have a power clip, so that's one downfall. But honestly, guys, no issues with battery life. Like I said, I just charged it up on the dock in between cuts, and we've had no issues there. Now, I do have a couple negatives. They're not huge, but these are negatives I want to share with you guys. Kind of the only things I can find that I don't like about the Rebel. And first off, guys, we just had the Senior out. You guys noticed it had a metal bottom on the clipper body. Now, the Rebel is all plastic. It's not a big issue, but it does cause it to be a little bit more lightweight, and that is something that I would enjoy a little bit better if it was a metal body on the bottom. And I know the Apex, guys, is supposed to be the Rebel in the metal body, but the Apex just didn't cut quite the same as the Rebel, and it was a little bit heavier. So only thing I would change is adding the metal body on the back of this. And then the other downfall, guys, and I hear it a lot from a lot of people when I talk about the Rebel, is that it's pretty loud. So for me personally, it being that loud is not a big issue. I've never had a client say, hey man, that clipper's super loud, can you use something else? Or anything like that. So the noise for me is really not that big of an issue. But guys, like I said, every time I post something about the Rebel on Instagram or on YouTube, people talk about how loud it is. So if you don't like loud clippers, that is one downfall. It does get a little bit loud. And I think the plastic body doesn't really help that. It's just such a lightweight clipper. It just seems to kind of rattle and shake, and it is pretty loud. But overall, guys, I still absolutely love the Stylecraft Rebel, something I use every single day. But anyway, I hope hope you guys enjoyed this review after a few months review of the Stylecraft Rebel. Guys, like I said, still one of my go-tos. If you guys want to check it out, head over to stylecraftus.com and don't forget to use my code Seancutshair to save 10%. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked the video. Do me a favor and smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you have the Rebel, if you agree with some of the things that I said, or if you have another clipper that is your go-to. Let me know down below. And guys, make sure you guys subscribe. I got a couple unboxings I just finished recording. I just uploaded 5 tutorials in a row that I just finished all in one day. So guys, I got a ton of content coming soon, and I would appreciate it if you guys would subscribe if you haven't already. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all of you that watched this video. I'll catch you guys next time.